There's been a lot of great black quarterbacks in the history of the CFL, but the first that we're going to talk about today is the man from Syracuse that changed the way people in Canada looked at the CFL, Bernie Custis. Now, Bernard Eugene Custis, born in Philadelphia, September 23rd, 28, was an American-Canadian football player who went on to a distinguished coaching career. He is known for having been the first black pro quarterback in the modern era and first in professional Canadian football, starting for the Ticats in 51. In 2019, Bernie Custis Secondary School officially opened in Hamilton. The school is located adjacent to Tim Hortons Field, which was formerly Ivor Wynne Stadium, home site of the Tiger Cats and Bernie's first pro games. Now, born in Philadelphia in 1928, he graduated from John Bartram High School in Philly in 47. Now, he excelled in track in high school, but at Syracuse in 48, 49, and 50, he was a star for the Orange, setting numerous Syracuse records that would last for decades. Custis was recruited by coach Reeves Basinger, who was replaced by Ben Schorwalzer after a 1-8 season. He played the first 2 years of the Schwartzwalders' 25-year tenure at Syracuse. The team went 4-5 in 49 and 5-5 in 1950. He was awarded the Syracuse football team's MVP for the 48 season. Now, Custis roomed with Al Davis, the future coach and owner of the Raiders at Syracuse. His best campaign in Syracuse was 49, where he completed 70 of 134 passes for 1,121 yards, 52% pass completion, 6 TDs, 9 interceptions with a 123.9 passer rating. Now, he was drafted in the 11th round of the 51 draft by the Browns in the NFL. As the Browns already had eventual Pro Football Hall of Famer Aldo Graham as a starting QB at the time, Custis stood no chance of becoming a starting quarterback. Now, at the time, the NFL, although it had recently begun accepting black players again, had also now had a black quarterback in 3 decades. Now, the Browns eventually offered Custis a place to play at safety instead. When Custis refused, the Browns then offered to release him on the condition he would not play for another NFL team. However, he chose to sign with Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Interprovincial Rugby Football Union, IRFU, that league that would form the Eastern Division of the CFL in 58. He played during Canada's football's transition to its modern era, which, apart from the official founding of the CFL, is generally regarded as having been completed by 54 or 55. Now, he started QB for Hamilton 51, becoming the first black player to play QB in Canadian professional football. He started every game for Hamilton 51 in both the regular season and playoffs, which they finished with a 7-5 record. They won their first-round playoff game 24-7 over Toronto in Toronto, but lost through the Eastern Finals to Ottawa 11-9 in front of a sellout crowd over 17,000 at Hamilton Civic Stadium. Custis was named to the IRFU All-Star team at quarterback that campaign. Despite being an all-star at QB, he was switched to running back in 52, where he was also a successful player. The 52 Tiger Cats had an outstanding regular season, finishing 9-2-1, but lost 12-7 in their playoff final to Toronto. Now in 53, Custis played for Hamilton their victory in the 41st Grey Cup game, and defeating the Blue Bombers 12-6. He finished a pro career with the Ottawa Rough Riders, playing running back in 55 and 56. Now, at the end of his pro career, he stayed in Canada and began a career as a teacher, elementary school principal. At the same time, he coached junior level football, most notably with the Oakville Black Knights and the Burlington Braves of the Canadian Junior Football League. At Burlington, he coached future Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame player, wide receiver Tony Gabriel. From 53 to 80, he served as head coach at Sheridan College. During his tenure, he had an 86% winning percentage, going 86-14, winning 6 consecutive Eastern College titles from 73 to 78. In 81, he accepted the head coach position of McMaster. In his second year of the Marauders, he improved the team's standing from 7th to 1st. Over 8 seasons, he led the Marauders to a 31-23-1 record. He was named to the OUAA Coach of the Year. Sorry about that. From 73 to 1980, he served as the head coach at Sheridan College. During his tenure, his record was 86-14, winning 6 consecutive Eastern College titles from 73 to 78. Again in McMaster, he led the Marauders to a 31-23-1 record, OUA Coach of the Year in 82 and 84, and named the CIAU Coach of the Year in 82. Inducted into the McMaster Athletic Hall of Fame in 2000. In 94, he was also inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame as a builder for his contributions to junior and college football in Canada. As a player, all-star quarterback in 51 in the IRFU, also all-star running back in the IRFU in that 54 campaign. 53 Grey Cup winner, Syracuse University Athletic Hall of Fame in 77. As a coach, all-star 75, 77, 78. OUAA Coach of the Year, 82 and 85 inclusive. CIAU Coach of the Year, the Frank Tindall Trophy in 82. CFHF a 98 inductee, and of course McMaster University Hall of Fame in 2000. Now, the reason why he's not talked about much, I hope, with all due respect to Custis, there was no CFL as we know it now in the early 50s. But by 56, 57, with the emergence of the Montreal Alouettes, the Edmonton Eskimos, the great rivalry, the CBC TV contract, CFL went from pretty well what they call a post-rugby association to probably one of the most important feeder systems for pro football in North America. People would play U.S. college. If you couldn't make it in the States, you could be paid more in Canada. And at one point, it was a strong competition for the AFL and the CFL. And within 10 years, again, it was a major league throughout North America where some of the top players came in. Everybody from Lancaster, Russ Jackson, Andrew Labasca, Sonny Wade, all that. So he was the foundation of the Black American athlete coming into Canada and saying, look at me, what I can do. But his time with Syracuse, I've heard legendary stories how the fans and him had such a connection. It was a hero. He felt like he said in published reports once, and I read this for sure. He said, the fans are my hero because they motivate me to do my best. A very Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron style character. Had some discrimination, but he overcame. And you got to understand, too, in the 1950s in Canada, CFL was growing so quickly. Players like him really, really were the marquee guys that people were looking to. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of the great Bertie Custis. If you like what we're doing here, we're a CFL podcast. Let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.